This is the World of Sports Network presentation.
Now let's move to the home team. The home team moving on to the Rams, taking on the home team, the Seahawks, man. It's just sad. Sad. It's a sad day over here in Seattle. Sad. Speaking about running games, man, I know who got a running game. The Los Angeles Rams had a running game, and that boy Cam Akers was on point against the Seahawks, man. I mean, it's just, the Rams are built. Like, they're just certain teams that's just built to just beat you. They're just built. Like, the whole function of the Los Angeles Rams, St. Louis Rams, wherever Rams they are. You know what I'm saying? Because, every other 5 years they in another city, right? That Rams team, they are built to beat the Seattle Seahawks, man. They're just built for them. It's like, I keep telling y'all this. Is the success of Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson and the whole Legion of Boom and the whole Seahawks era, the 2010s, you know what I'm saying? That era. It's like the Seahawks I'm talking about, they're the example. They were the example of the NFC, specifically the NFC West. They were the leaders. So all that team, the 49ers, the Rams, the Cardinals, all three of those teams, because the Seahawks were the head. They were building their program, building their team to beat the Seattle Seahawks. And nobody built their team better to beat the Seahawks than the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, it's very simple. The strength, look at this. The strength of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is the best off-script quarterback in the NFL. Probably one of the best off-script quarterback in the history of the NFL. Very, very good at off-script. But what makes Russell Wilson so distinguishing difference, like when you look at him play, when Russell Wilson do his scrambling ability, my man Russell like to step up and then goes out. He's not like the other scrambling quarterbacks, right? Because Russell look to when he runs to look to pass. So what he does in the pocket, right? Russell don't run around in the pocket. He always need to take a step up in the pocket and then he flares out. So the way the Los Angeles Rams are built with Aaron Donald in the middle is they're going to come attack you from the middle and then flare out with Jalen Ramsey and their secondary and their athletic with Leonard Floyd and company. The Los Angeles Rams are built because they saw the success of the Seattle Seahawks throughout the Sherman, the Marshawn Lynch days and that Legion of Boom days. They studied that and they built a team to attack and beat the Seahawks, and now they're reaping the benefits of that. They're reaping the benefits of that, of them seeing the target, identifying the weakness, and you know what? And they attack it. And it starts with Aaron Donald. From day one, Aaron Donald come in the middle. Russell Wilson being very deficiency as far as his height. That's why Aaron Donald owns Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson stepped up in the middle. And guess what? When he stepped up, you know who's there? The best Aaron and probably the best defensive player in the history of the universe, man, Aaron Donald. And then when Russell want to flare out because he's off script, the Rams got better athletes at the skill position than the Seattle Seahawks. That's what it comes down to. When Russell go off script, it becomes athletes versus athletes. When there's no script now, just like when you go outside and play with your friends, there's no script. It becomes who's a better athlete. And at the end of the day, the Rams are better athletically at the skill position with Jalen Ramsey corner, Williams and company. They're better at the skill position than Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Just a better matchup. That's all this was, man. Now, how do you offset this? Because the Seahawks, they're still competitive, but Pete Carroll and them got to know. Teams are built to beat them. Now, the Seahawks got to be built to beat the other team, and that's very simple. They got to get that offensive defensive line right back, man. Because when the Seahawks had a nasty offensive line and defensive line, we saw what happened. We ain't got to worry about the Aaron Donald. But because there's a little cringe right there in the armor for the last, basically for the last 5 years. For the last 5 years, it's been the interior offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks. And for the last 5 years, Aaron Donald has been the best interior lineman in all of football. What do you think is going to happen in our matchup? The last 5 years, the Seahawks had the worst interior offensive line play in football. And they're in the same division as the best interior defensive lineman in the history of football. You do the math. You do the math. Till you solve that, Pete Carroll, till you solve that issue, the Los Angeles Rams and Sean McVay and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and company will always have your number. It's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. And this has been Monday Morning Football with the Guru. Like this, love this, share this, and I am out.